Welcome. In front of me I have the Hollyland VenusLiv Air, and I'll be going over unboxing along with just a quick look at the camera itself. Okay, so let's get straight to it. I'm not gonna go too much in depth into this or like set it up or anything like that. I'm just gonna check out what's in the box and just give you kind of like a quick little rundown of what it offers. There we go. Ooh, nice little pull tab. Wow, look at that. Samsung, you can learn something from this. Yeah, we get some little paperwork right here. Thank you for choosing Hollyland. Cool. Okay, nothing really special. You know what? I am going to zoom out just a little bit so we can have a bit more space. You know what? I'm just gonna rip this apart. Oh. There we go. Okay, so this is a Type-C to Type-C, just a 90-degree angle. Okay, nothing else in there. So we get some manual, so I'm just gonna yeet that to the side right away, and we get Type-C to USB-A. This is the 3.0 cable. Let's see what it is for. USB cable. Connect this into the camera, so the Type-C. And this cable is only compatible with VenusLiv Pro and subsequent models. Compatible in what way? It's just a USB cable. Whatever. I drop it back in here and then move to the rest of the package. Okay, so here we have a charger, by the looks of it, which comes with a screw on so it doesn't get unplugged. Yeah, I'm not sure this is a great design. There is a very little chance that this would come unplugged. So even adding a screw on, if you're gonna trip over the cable instead of unplugging it, you're yeeting the camera to the floor. Probably I prefer to unplug. Now luckily you don't need to screw that in, hopefully. I guess we're gonna find out in a second. And here we have my European plug, so I can actually connect it to an outlet. Now there's nothing else in here, so I'm just gonna move on to the presumed camera itself. Oh boy, this is actually bigger than I expected. That's what she said. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is a bit more substantial than I expected it to be. some reason from the pictures I expected it to be a little bit smaller. Does this actually separate? Okay, why is there a little marker like this supposed to be? I don't know. This can't be moved. Let me just maybe do this. A little bit more exposure. It doesn't even unscrew, I think. Oh well. Now in here we actually have quite substantial I/O. We have our Type-C for, I believe this is to basically connect it to your computer so you can get the image from that. We have also HDMI out. We have microphone, which is Type-C as well. We have the LAN port, the power plug. Can you connect it without screwing it in? Yes, I can. So that's at least decent. And by the way, yeah, if you even keep it not screwed in and you trip over this thing is flying away. And we have an aux in. If you flip that up, there's nothing under it apart from just maybe a bit of a info about the product. And one more thing, we do have mounting right here for either a flash or a microphone that I can mount to this one, along with the SD card spot right here. A little bit of a logo happening right here, and so this is kind of odd. We have these kind of like bar designs. These are usually seen on like heat sinks to dissipate heat. This is plastic, but you can see it's going all the way through. So this is designed to basically be operational for 24/7 without overheating or having any kind of problems. And on top of that, we do have a couple little mounting threads. So we have one on the side right here and also right here, depending if you want to use this camera in landscape or portrait mode, as it will automatically switch from one to another. We do have the power button right here. It is a bit harder to press and a bit mushy, not the best kind of design. And anything else here? Nope, that's about it. And oh, I didn't mention, but this seems to be a standard thread for like mounting it to tripod, which is pretty good. Now, that being said, some of the things that is a little bit limiting in my opinion for the price is the actual fact that it only records or captures, however you want to call it, at 4K up to 30 frames per second. So seems a bit low in my opinion. Now this is done for basically kind of like live streaming as a, you know, your basically for your face and stuff like that. And considering it costs a little bit more than probably you'd expect, although based on this package it actually seems like an expensive device. Let me quickly check. The price is 2,500 PLN to USD, and that puts it at nearly $700 freaking dollars. Wow, that's a lot. So for that price, I'm not sure if you wouldn't be better off buying something like, let me quickly check what was the exact model. So you could be buying something like the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II camera, probably for about the same price or close to it, and that actually does 4K 60, and it's a camera from Sony, so obviously it might be a little bit better, though I do want to be very upfront in terms of I/O. This hands down just wins. Now, one of the probably defining features for this will be how well it works. It has some gimmick like AI tuning. Again, this probably would need to be checked out, just so quickly try to figure out how to unlock this up. So this would probably need to be, oh, now I see what the white marker was for. Right, and it looks like it kind of just closes here correctly. Okay, so yeah, It will depend on how well it works with the application. You can obviously connect it to your phone. It has an application for a phone and also on a desktop. It has some AI tuning that allows it to basically look the best while having, well, kind of, let's just say, subpar conditions. You can check out their website. They actually have a okay kind of example for this if it works this way. But by the looks of it, it just tries to color grade the image to make it look a bit more professional and nice. Other than that, you can also edit things like white balance, ISO, and so on. So it does have in their program some control, so that's good. What else? We have 1/1.3 CMOS sensor right here, which I have no clue about it. f1.05 lens, effective pixels 50 megapixels, and true to life color reproduction. I'm just basically reading off on their website, so if you're interested, you can check it out, assuming you haven't done so. But at the end of the day, the best thing that no matter what is written on the website will be to actually plug it in, use it, which I'm unfortunately not going to be going over this in this video, but people in the office here will be making videos about this, tuning it, and you will most likely see some kind of videos in terms of how well it does it. So stay tuned for those. Other than that, for unboxing, that's about it. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.